All right, y'all. Professor X here, and everybody knows about the Jordan Miles situation and the now infamous, not to be released T-shirt. Well, I'm pretty sure everybody's heard the Booker T broadcast, on his so-called opinions and how it should have been handled. Everyone handles things differently. Some people are emotional, and rightfully so. And when it comes to racism, there's nothing more emotional, especially for black people. But Uncle Booker T, being the good little houseboy he is, I don't think he knows that too well, especially since he's now rich and famous. I don't think his conscience is very evolved. But here's what he had to say, on the situation. And of course, your boy here, Professor Malik X, is gonna give his retort. So here we go.
Let's go to Twitter. There's a question that's been coming up a lot. I've seen so far from this tweet, so let's go ahead and ask it. At Nate Laws 2 wants to know, how do you feel, Booker, about the Jordan Miles situation?
Jordan Miles situation, formerly known as ACH, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And for those of you who don't know, there was a post that he put out about a T-shirt that he found to be racially inappropriate in some ways, and he's voiced his opinion about it. And there's been a lot of people. It's been all over social media pretty much for wrestling. I mean, Sports Illustrated, everybody's been talking about it, and I've seen your name get thrown out there a lot about what is Booker T.
My name been thrown out a whole lot.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I must say this first before we even move any further. As far as I've been in WWE for, been a part of the company since 2002.
2001.
Well, 2001. Officially, I got kicked off in 2002. And I've had several T-shirts, and every time I've had a T-shirt, all the way up until the Hall of Fame, which was the last one they made, I think, they came to me and they had given me several different designs as far as, how do I like this one? How do I like this one? How do I like this one? Even going back to WCW, every time I've had a T-shirt, I was part of the process. Every time I knew exactly what it was going to look like. So therefore, I don't know how this T-shirt got out without him actually knowing about it first and foremost. That being said, my name has been thrown out there as far as where is Booker T? And even Mark Henry, people have been saying, where is Mark Henry?
Yeah.
Well, first and foremost, it's not our job to step up and defend Jordan Miles over his T-shirt. Okay. Now, one thing I can say about T-shirts.
All right, Uncle Booker Tom. Like I said, the T is going to be for Tom, and I kind of knew you was Uncle Tom even years before. Let's take a close look at that. You've been with WWE since about 2001/2002, because I think you had a TNA stint and then you went back, so there was a small little gap there. But since you've been with them all this time, and I'm pretty sure you've seen more racism in some ways, or more ways than one, than what you let on. But to me, being there all that time means you've been a good little houseboy up there. So you're serving, and I've said this before in my tweets. You do your slave master proud. And that's the problem that educated black men like myself have with you. That's the problem Jordan Miles should have with you. You say it's not you or Mark Henry's job to step up and defend you over a T-shirt. Booker T, let me tell you something. That fucking shirt was a slap in the face to Jordan Miles, to you, to Mark Henry, to Tony Atlas, D'Lo Brown, Ron Simmons, The Godfather, the late Junkyard Dog, any black wrestler that has come in history up until now. That was a slap in the face to everybody. You may be sitting at the man's table, and that's what it is. And I ain't talking about Becky Lynch. I'm talking about the man, Vince McMahon. You may be sitting at his table and eating from his same table as him, with your paycheck, but you still not one of them. That's what brothers like you don't seem to comprehend. You are not one of them. you are black. And the faster or harder that you learn that, the better off I think it'd be. You need to let your conscience evolve. You need to read some Malcolm X books. You need to listen to Minister Louis Farrakhan. It might help. I'm just saying. But let's continue.
T-shirt is it's not a good looking T-shirt. All right, it's an ugly shirt. I can't say that.
Right.
The T-shirt has a black background to it. Now, 90% of the T-shirts that are made got a black background to it. Okay, what did it look like? Blackface? Maybe some people on social media said that. It's a lot of negative people on social media that's looking for anything that they could possibly find to make racial. Okay,
bullshit. That T-shirt screamed the historical derogatory blackface that was designed to make fun of us. It is in Booker T. If you read your history, this racism was long before computers and social media. Dummy. Yeah. In the words of Eli Drake, racism was long before social media, long before computers. And no, we're not looking for anything. That shirt was a slap in the face. It came looking for us. You do realize, Booker, you work for a racist family. You do realize that, don't you? You know, can you comprehend that? Can you think about that a minute? You know, and being a celebrity, you should have access to talk to Minister Louis Farrakhan, because I'm pretty sure Minister Louis Farrakhan can do some research on Mr. McMahon and find all kinds of racist dirt on him. And Booker, this little tip: the whole family's racist. You know, Vince McMahon's mentality flows through their veins, and it's in their blood. So, dude, you know, to quote Lawrence Fishburne from a Spike Lee movie, you need to check that alarm clock and wake up.
Okay, first and foremost, it happens all the time. So therefore, is it a racially driven concept of a T-shirt? Me personally, in 2019, I cannot think that the guys actually went into it thinking, let's make a racial shirt about Jordan Miles. Me personally, a lot of people may think that, but I just don't think the firestorm is not worth going through this. It's just not.
No, Booker, it's not worth sacrificing your job or your paycheck. That's why it's not worth it. And going back to that point you made about it's not you or Mark Henry's job to step up and defend Jordan Miles over a damn T-shirt. It's not about the damn T-shirt, Booker T. It's about the goddamn mentality, old school mentality before social media mentality behind the damn shirt. And as a brother, you, Mark Henry, it should be your personal obligation to step up and defend another brother. And that's the problem with a lot of black people in this white America today. We're so fucking blinded by the white man's goddamn money, the paycheck, his riches, you know, sitting at the same table as him. You're so fucking blinded by that, you can't see what's obviously in front of your face. That T-shirt was a slap in the face to you as well, Booker, even though you're not Jordan Miles, but you're still black. That's a concept you can't seem to grasp here. And apparently, like you and Jay Lethal or whoever, there's a lot of Uncle Toms in the wrestling business. Yeah, you're black, and and everything that's coming out of your mouth just is basically whitewashing. I've never seen a black man whitewash a bullshit out of his mouth. That's basically, I've heard, that's basically the white man's job. They're the ones that whitewash bullshit. They whitewash our history. They whitewash everything else. They want to distort the facts. They don't want people to know the truth or to read between the lines. And Booker, that T-shirt, we read between the lines. We read that bullshit like a damn book. But, you know, hey, you're Booker T. I wouldn't call you Hall of Fame now. It ought to be called. I ought to call you Hall of Shame, because you should be ashamed of yourself.
So therefore, is it something that, you know, should have been discussed? Is it something that should have been talked about? Yes, but this going to social media crap is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. That's you could be working at Jack in the Box, and if something happened, you want to go to social media and talk about it. Your business at your job is your business, all right, with that company.
Well, here's the thing, Booker T. Working at Jack in the Box is not the same as working at World White Entertainment. One thing doesn't have shit to do with the other. Okay? And you work for World White Entertainment. It's called Sports Entertainment. It's a global media conglomerate. That's Twitter, social media, and YouTube. And social media is great for us, for people like me, the common folk. It's great because once we see bullshit, and Jordan Miles, who stepped up to call it out, it was a good thing he called it out on social media, because now we can really see what kind of person Vince McMahon is, what kind of mentality Vince McMahon has. Now we see, and this is why people like me wouldn't put another goddamn dime in that motherfucker's pocket. See, I can watch your bullshit for free. I ain't got to pay for shit. The network, nothing. I can sit back and watch it for free. You ain't getting shit out of my pocket. I work too hard for my goddamn money. Hey, but hey, keep eating them crumbs off the man's table. Just make sure one day you don't choke on them.
It's not for the world to come in. I don't know when the last time somebody on social media signed my check. Okay. All right. So, and okay. Now you say, okay, just because people on social media don't sign your check, they should know what you're doing. You damn right. That's why. They have no reason to be in my life from a business aspect. Okay. And I'm venting a little bit right now because I'm a little hot about it, because my name has been thrown in it first and foremost. Something like this, if it does come up, it should be handled, and it should be handled behind closed doors. Now, I say that because I've had many of racial issues that I have dealt with in this business, and not one of them have ever been on social media. I've never complained to social media about any racial situation that I've been in, and I'm gonna tell you right now, if anybody knows me, anybody in this wrestling business knows Booker T, they know exactly what I've gone through and how I've handled every situation. There have never been a racial issue that have gone over my head or that I've swept under the rug. Every single time someone has said anything racial around me, I've handled it. And to hear this Uncle Tom crap, calling, I heard, Jay Lethal's name. I know Jay Lethal. Jay Lethal has put in almost 20 years in this business. He's no Uncle Tom. I've heard people call me an Uncle Tom. And if they do it, I wish they would do it to my face. Don't do it behind those characters. Don't do it behind social media. Don't do it behind a cloak of anonymity. Do it in my face, okay? Because I'll show you what an Uncle Tom really looks like.
You know what? I think we're listening to an Uncle Tom right now. You can vent all you want to. It's a good act, and I applaud you for it. But I'm not buying it. Once again, this fake venting, that's what I call it, is bullshit, because you probably had people in your face asking you what's your position and how do you stand, and you don't want to be a part of it. You want to stand back. Well, here's the thing. That's another problem with black people. They want to stand in the back too damn much. We need to start standing in the front and step up. Hey, Booker T, it's time to pick a side. And the only reason you're spitting this bullshit is because you like that goddamn paycheck. And you say you've handled every racial situation that's been over your head. I highly doubt that, because if you really handled it, if there was that many racist issues in the wrestling, maybe you need to pick another profession. That's just something to think about. That's bullshit. And I'm pretty sure you've been called the N-word behind your back many more times than you'd care to count. even long before Hulk Hogan was caught spitting it out of his mouth on that sex tape. So, you say Uncle Tom to your face. Okay, yes. Say somebody says it to your face, and you put your hands on them. Yeah, see. And the thing is, Booker T, when you put your hands on people, that's grounds for getting shot at. So don't be challenging anybody in the street because somebody might come after you with some hot rocks. You don't want that. So like I said, take a good long look in the mirror and check your own shit as a black man, and then take a look at Vince McMahon and the rest of these rednecks in his business. And I don't care how many years Jay Lethal's put in his business. He's not you. He's not as famous as you. He's not as rich as you, obviously, because he works in a Ring of Honor. He's been in TNA. Hey, why don't you be a stand-up brother and put in a good word for him and put in a good word for him with Vince and help him get to WWE? Since you like him so much, why don't you do that? Help a brother out. But let's keep going.
Okay, if you do it out in public. So therefore, my thing is this, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Social media and your business, they don't go together. Okay, that's just my opinion.
Well, if that's the case, then maybe Vince McMahon, WWE, should close down all their social media accounts. Tell the wrestlers don't have their phones on backstage and posting videos of them dancing and joking around. Hey, Booker T, right there, you contradicted yourself. WWE is all about fucking social media. It's called people talking about your product. It's called publicity. That's what social media is for. And you say social media and your business don't mix. If there wasn't a social media, I don't think Vince McMahon would have as many fans or platform that he has. If there was no social media, you wouldn't have this platform. The podcasting, Twitter. You're on Twitter too, and also I noticed on Twitter you let people direct message you. I direct messaged you. Did you read it yet? And trust me, this video, when it's finished and I upload it to my channel, I'm going to send it to you too, because I want you to hear the words coming out of my mouth. Your new name, Uncle Booker T. And you know what the T stands for, because that's what you sound like. You're sugarcoating racism like don't sugarcoat it like cereal. And as we all know, sugar's bad for you. It's white. Bad for your teeth. But in some form or another, everybody eats it. There's got to be some sugar. But not to get off the topic, Buzz. The thing is, hey Booker T. Once again, you do your slave masters proud. Go run back to Vince. Say, yes, massa.
That and leave my name out of this crap. Stand with you, stand behind you. I'm standing way back on this one. All right? Because I tell you, this could have been handled a whole lot differently than it's being handled. This is not a Colin Kaepernick moment. Okay?
Bullshit. This is no different than the Colin Kaepernick moment. Whether it's Colin Kaepernick or Jordan Miles, it's the same concept because it's the same kind of racist mentality. Colin Kaepernick was police brutality. This is just straight up mental and verbal racism. The black shirt with the Jordan Miles written like smiling white teeth with the red in the background, which is like the lips. That screams, that screams clown blackface, Booker T. We didn't look for it. It smacked us right in the face. It smacked you in the face, but you can't see it because you're hiding behind Vince's paycheck. You like Vince's money. Everybody likes Vince's money. Let me tell you something. That money's got a bad smell. It's only paper thin, and you can't take it to the grave with you. Just remember that.
Just get that straight, first and foremost. And if anybody got something to say, I'm a very easy man to find.
You're an easy man to find, huh? We're not going to look for you at the L.A. Los Angeles hotel. There's too many hotels. You know, why don't you just give them your home address? That's just a thought. And also about this standing way back. I don't think Minister Louis Farrakhan. I don't think Minister Louis Farrakhan would want you to stand in the back. He'd want you to stand up and defend your brother against this type of mental racist tyranny. And that's all it is. And also, on my personal opinion, Jordan Miles, keep your head up, be strong, and be a warrior. Everything eventually will work itself out. And to quote Minister Louis Farrakhan, people like Vince McMahon, your time of rule is up.
I'm at the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles, California, kicking back, relaxing. What else we got?
Well, there you have it. The words from Uncle Booker T himself. Like I said, in closing, on one last note, again, you do your slave masters proud. And Booker T, I don't know if you read any books. I mean, I read your background. Yeah, you got in trouble with the law. You went to jail. You got out. You got into sports and you got into wrestling. Let me ask you something. Did you graduate high school? Did you ever go to college? Did you ever, like I said, do you read? And have you ever read any Black history? It sounds like to me, you got into wrestling, okay, and you got lucky. But like I said, basically being a good boy with the man, you know, he let you have a long career with his company. Because you're probably the only Black man that's been with WWE that long. How you manage that? Like I said, me personally, I think like that guy in the Django. You know, the most trusted house slave. So you know, my only thing is, you know, you need to check the alarm clock, check your history, wake the fuck up, and know what you're talking about. Like I said. Sugarcoat it all you want. I'm not selling. Me personally, I'm not selling out my people like that. I have more of a conscience than that, and I wouldn't want a dime of Vince's dirty money. Oh, I've almost forgot. Hulk Hogan, Jordan Miles said it best on Twitter. How the fuck are you going to stay friends with somebody who actually said the N-word? Somebody that Black and kids, white kids looked up to for years. And here's the thing, say, you know, we don't know you people. We don't know these wrestlers. We don't know none of them. We don't know what you like off camera or behind closed doors. But we found out what Hogan's like, and to say that the way he said it, some bullshit you said, I think it was out of context. No, there's no fucking context that you can say that word and it's acceptable and it's cool. See, Booker T, that shows us as Black people how ignorant you are. So, you know, fuck social media in the wrestling business. This is just plain human decency. And as you know, friends like your Peckerwood cracker Hulk Hogan obviously weren't taught with any decency. He had to be. He had to have taught some. He had to have been taught some racist mentality somewhere. If even Hulk Hogan, the great Hulk Hogan, say your prayers, eat your vitamins, be true to yourself, be a real American, brother. And it's like Vince Russo called everybody bro or brother. Hulk Hogan is not my brother, and Booker T, he's not your brother. Even if you're too stupid or ignorant and blind to see that, he is not your brother and never will be. Like I said, if any cracker peckerwood that uses the N-word around me or and says, you know, it's in context, no, we are not friends. Hell no, we're not friends. I ain't your friend. I ain't shaking your hand. We ain't hanging out. We damn sure ain't drinking a beer together. So, hey, Booker T, you need to look in yourself, read some Black history books, look within yourself and find out who your true friends are. Because they always say in the wrestling business, there are no friends, and you need to have a conversation and have a chat. Spend an hour, at least 1 hour, with Minister Louis Farrakhan. I guarantee you, in some way, shape, or form, he'll he'll smack you in the face with some knowledge and some reality. And that's what you need, Booker T. You need some knowledge of self. So all the brothers that watch my channel, let me know what you think. Peace. I'm out.